716 Humphrey Street, a legacy of Happy Hill. A narrow house stands in Happy Hill, its rooms aligned in a straight line from front door to back door, with no hallways and no turns. This house holds the stories of families who lived through Reconstruction, the Civil Rights era, and the everyday life of this historic neighborhood. We will tell the story of this house, along with Triad Cultural Arts work, to rebuild this space and use it as a legacy site for education and for programming. We want to help them make a house that keeps history alive. No one can tell the history of this organization and its restoration of this site better than Cheryl Harry, the founder of Triad Cultural Arts.
This is a community-based organization. Our goal and purpose is to preserve, present, and commemorate African American history, particularly on the local area, but African American history for all people.
Our documentary will help tell this story, as we explore the ways this single house takes on meaning within its neighborhood, city, and nation. We start with the space itself and the people who made it a home. Then we turn to their neighborhood, Winston Salem's first Black community, Happy Hill. Next, we explore the ways that national policies like redlining and urban development reshaped that community and threatened its survival. And finally, we highlight the work of Triad Cultural Arts, the organization that is restoring this home as a legacy site. 716 Humphrey is a shotgun house, a relatively inexpensive home where rooms are aligned in a single row without the use of an interior hallway. The name shotgun house was popularized by a saying that if a shotgun were fired through the front door, the shot would travel straight through the house and out the back door. Almost all early shotguns were built with wooden frames and typically set on brick or concrete block piers. Inside, families made the most of every narrow space. The front room often doubled as both living room and bedroom, while the kitchen at the back was the heart of the home. But the word shotgun is actually derived from West Africa, where the Yoruba term to gun means place of assembly or where people gather. Built in the early 1900s, our shotgun house was home to Annie Rory, who lived there with her two children, Catherine and John, and her young granddaughter, Beatrice Sims. The 1940 census shows that Annie, a 38-year-old widow, supported her family by working as a domestic. She and her children had completed only a few years of schooling, 7th grade for Annie and Catherine, and 4th grade for John. This was fairly common at the time. After Annie's death in 1948, city records show that Jeremiah Patterson, a laborer for the City Department of Public Works, lived in the house. Scholars trace the origins of the shotgun house from West African building traditions through the Caribbean and into the American Gulf Coast. Over time, the design spread across the South and became an affordable housing model for African Americans after emancipation. Many shotgun houses found their way to Winston-Salem, nestled between other cottages and bungalows. Today, only two original shotgun houses remain on Humphrey Street. The house at 720 Humphrey is severely deteriorated, missing its porch, original roof, and structural integrity. Records show that the house was not originally on the Humphrey Street property and was most likely moved there from Alders Street or Free Street. Due to this damage, most restorative efforts have been focused on our house at 716 Humphrey, which was purchased by Triad Cultural Arts. Moving past 716 Humphrey Street, we find ourselves on Free Street, in a neighborhood that was formed just after emancipation, Happy Hill. Established in 1872, Happy Hill became Winston-Salem's first African American community, originally called Liberia. The neighborhood was developed on the former Schumann plantation, and lots were sold to freed slaves for just $10. The neighborhood was developed on the opposite side of Salem Creek, as a segregated area after the Civil War. The creek served as a physical separation of the white and black communities in Winston-Salem. When R.J. Reynolds began manufacturing tobacco in 1873, new employment opportunities attracted many black families from rural areas to the neighborhood. By 1920, more than 130 families lived in Happy Hill, over half of them homeowners. The neighborhood was characterized by shotgun houses with front porches, narrow dirt roads, and a strong sense of community.
You consider that Happy Hill was a place where enslaved people were. Then Happy Hill was a place where freed people were. I think that because we have an opportunity to tell so many stories from so many eras in our history, just in this small vessel of memory, that it was important to save it, and it was important to save it here in Winston-Salem's first planned African American community.
At the end of the Jazz Age in the 1920s, Winston-Salem was flourishing and Happy Hill was thriving, but in 1937, discriminatory federal housing policies transformed Happy Hill. Redlining, which today is illegal, labeled neighborhoods as hazardous to investment due to the presence of black families. This resulted in a disinvestment of the neighborhood by both the city and its residents. People living in Happy Hill were denied access to home loans, their neighborhoods were framed as high risk, and their houses were undervalued, which blocked wealth building opportunities. The city's infrastructure and investments were also withheld, and ending with demolition. Legally reframing Happy Hill as undesirable also enabled a series of infrastructure projects that literally cut through the community. By 1910, railroad tracks separated Happy Hill from other neighborhoods in what is now Winston-Salem State University, a historically black university. In the 1930s, a major power line was installed through the heart of the community. Then, by the 1950s, Interstate 40 and U.S. Highway 52 were constructed to cut through Happy Hill, destroying local buildings, churches, and businesses. Even part of the Happy Hill Cemetery, containing records for over 1,500 burials, was destroyed to build U.S. Highway 52. This erased years of history and tradition and left the neighborhood with scars that can still be seen today.
Those practices do still exist today, and that because of that, it would have an opportunity to fracture communities that are like Happy Hill, other smaller neighborhoods. But people are more informed now. I believe that because he who has the knowledge has the power, as long as we continue to educate our people. And I see the Shotgun House being a means to do that.
In response to these challenges, Triad Cultural Arts is working to turn 716 Humphrey into not just a house, but a legacy site, or a Black History museum that is in Happy Hill.
Um, the when we chose the name for the site, we called it the Shotgun House Legacy Site. And we chose that name because we knew that the Shotgun House was going to be the anchor, but it was going to be a legacy of the entire city and, of course, the broader African American narrative. So we wanted it to be not just about this particular house, but about that entire story.
The Legacy Project is unfolding in 3 phases, starting in 2023 through 2024. Phase 1 consisted of scholars researching Winston-Salem's African American historical context and developing a master planning process that supports capital fundraising and monthly community beautification. Phase 2, scheduled from August 2024 to January 2025, included extensive structural work, followed by interior construction, electrical, and mechanical work. Now, the project is in Phase 3. Construction on the 2 shotgun houses is wrapping up, and Triad Cultural Arts is campaigning for the site's multi-use community center and pavilion. By scheduling your tour of 716 Humphrey, you will get to experience authentic historic interiors, oral histories, cultural programming, and exhibits. Altogether, this will offer future generations a space rooted in unity and shared experiences to keep Happy Hill's history as a first African American neighborhood alive.
I hope it will give people a sense of pride. So I just believe that, when people have a sense of pride where they came from and where they can get to talk about it, it's going to empower them. It's going to make our communities better. It's going to make our nation better.
Today, 716 Humphrey still stands as a window into their world, a reminder of the families who built their lives right here in Happy Hill. We hope you all will come see these spaces and hear these stories for yourselves.